Well, hey there, Travels with Dottie here. This is Rob, and you haven't seen Dottie in a while. Not exactly going to be a close-up. Mr. DeMille, Dottie is not ready for a close-up, but she's there on the couch. And George, I think if you look like right there by that table, you might see George's head. Maybe not. George, kitty, come here. Here she comes. There's George. That you have witnessed an epic thing. George actually responding to me calling him. You must be hungry. That's all I got to say. So what's today's video about? I have no idea. Well, I have a little bit of an idea. Every once in a while, I don't have a great idea for a video, and I decide to mine the comments for stuff that I'm interested in and that I'd like to talk about. So that's what we're going to do today. And I do have a little bit of a preview because as I set up my phone to look at the comments from most recent going back, I see a lot on the video I did on dental work, what I learned about dental insurance and dental work on the road. And people had some pretty interesting comments. So if you're interested in, if you're a nomad, you want to be a nomad, and you're worried about dental work, it's good stuff. But the first comment isn't about dental insurance at all. It's about pet insurance. Kisa Outreach says, I'm curious, do you have pet insurance or ever looked into it? I wonder if it's worth it. Sorry, that's off topic. In her second paragraph is about dental stuff. So we'll address what she... No, I haven't looked into it. That's a good thing to look into, pet insurance. And maybe I'll do that and sort of try to unravel that like I tried to unravel. I've unraveled as much as I can with Medicare and supplements and Advantage plans. And then recently I did dental insurance. So pet insurance, that's a good one. Thank you, Kisa. Also, she said, my son is a third-year dental student. They have a clinic they work in hands-on for experience. All the work is overseen by experienced dentists. It's much less expensive. I don't know how it compares to Mexico, but if not close, it may be something to consider. That's interesting because there was another, I don't know whether I'll get to it. I don't know how far it's buried. There was another comment that said, hey, check this out for dental schools. And I think that you need to be near a dental school, which I'm not. Maybe there's one in Albuquerque. I have no idea, but Albuquerque's pretty far away to go to a dental appointment. But that's worth looking into. If just look up dental schools near me and then drill into that. And I would use Chat GTP and say, hey, are there any dental schools near me that have reduced rate clinics? Let's do that. Let's go to Chat GTP. I am living in Artesia, New Mexico. Are there any dental school discount clinics anywhere near me? What would the closest one be? And do you have any idea what the cost might be if so? This is so much better than doing Google searches and digging through websites. Just wait for this. If you're living in Artesia, New Mexico, and looking for dental school or student clinic discount dental care, there are two very good options in New Mexico. One, Turo Dental Health, New Mexico and Albuquerque. This is a pre-doctoral dental school facility in Albuquerque that offers low-cost, high-quality care through student providers. They mentioned patients can receive as much as a 20 to 50% discount on both routine and advanced procedures compared to standard private practice pricing. And let me tell you, that's probably better than what you're getting on, certainly in the first year, than you're getting on dental insurance. Just to review, one thing we found out, you can't, hey, I need a root canal, I'm going to sign up for dental insurance and use it tomorrow. Impossible. Everyone that I saw had a minimum waiting period of a year. In the first one I saw a waiting period of a year and you pay 70%. So basically you get a 30% discount over what, there's another layer of complexity. That's over what they charge the insurance company, which could be different from what they charge a cash paying customer. Cost implication of private care for a cleaning exam, say, is 150 to 300 in an area. It might lower it to 75 to 150, possibly less. Distance travel, Africa is fairly far from Artesia, 30 to 34 hours drive, so not really next door. A strong option if you're able to travel. Let's see, is there another one? Oh, Donna Ana Community College Dental Clinic in Las Cruces. They offer preventative services. It's a teaching facility, so they don't do major procedures there. So anyway, you can ask the exact question I did in ChatGTP, and yeah, it's free. It's free, and you'll get a similar answer. Isn't that neat? Okay, next one is from Grumpowski. I like that name. Says, yeah, unfortunately, our dental insurance system is not real dental insurance at all. It just gives you a full sense of insurance. The big stuff it doesn't even cover. I know sometimes it's a sensitive topic, but I really wish we would have a dual healthcare system like many other countries throughout the world who have a public offering and private insurance. I do believe wholeheartedly if we had a public offering, universal healthcare for all who wanted, right here, I believe private insurance companies to lower the rates to be competitive. Right now, there's no reason for them to lower their prices or the drug companies. I just think it's very sad that we Americans have to travel to another country to get dental care. It shouldn't be like that. I agree. Maybe it's controversial. I don't know, but I don't understand why it would be. So then we're off dental and we're on to there's a video I really enjoyed doing, and I wish I'd done it a long time ago. I called it 6 RV Disasters You Don't Want to Live Through, and I told stories about 6 terrible mistakes that I made as an RVer. Have you ever forgot to raise your stabilizers? You know what? I thought about that, and hang on just a second. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm back. Have I ever forgot to raise my stabilizers? I think I have a vague, on my first trailer, I have a vague recollection of bending one slightly, and I was able to bend it back. I don't remember how it happened. It was such a minor thing, and I was able to correct it. But what I did have, it reminded me of something that I wish I put in the video. Do you know those orange square blocks that are kind of like Legos and they stack? I used to do a stack of them underneath the tongue jack. And forgive me if you're not familiar with RVs at all, but the tongue is the thing that you hook your truck onto, and there's a rod that either you crank or electrically goes down to the ground to hold the front end of your trailer up. And you generally need to put something underneath that, between that and the ground, or it'll sort of dig into the ground too much. You don't have to, but most people do. Anyway, I got the bright idea that if I stacked a few of them, I could, it would have less distance to travel. It would be quicker to set up. Just brilliant, right? Except when I found out they're not stable for that. And when I was doing it, I think I was setting up and I was on a slight incline, and the whole tongue slipped off and the whole trailer slammed to the ground right in front of me. Had my foot been there, I'd be making videos about what it's like to walk around with a foot in a nub. It would have been that serious. So I did some research, and I found this pretty expensive molded sort of plastic. It's really heavy, thick plastic and rubber mixed together, that's designed for that, and it won't slide off. So I learned my lesson with those plastic orange things. So So let's see, Joe Gertzema. Rob, thanks for sharing your valuable experience related to campers. No one likes to lose money on any kind of RV issues. And how? I must say, your approach to telling us about your mistakes was interesting, but also a bit humorous. I found myself chuckling when you discussed backing the trailer with a steel box and also finally determining the reason for water coming from the trailer light fixture. Yeah. Jeez. Also, could understand how a bad person would feel after learning the insurance settlement was inadequate due to something you did not understand during the settlement discussion. With all that said, I enjoy your great communication skills, frankness, and willingness to teach your listeners about practical full-time RV travel tips. That what he's talking about is I had a terrible roof leak, and the good news was the insurance company covered it and paid $5,000 for a brand new roof. What I didn't know at the time is any major flooding, any major water intrusion on an RV roof is going to go down the sides of the wall and destroy it from the inside. But there's a delay on when that shows up, and it shows up as a thing called delamination, where the sides of the trailer start to become warped when that sheathing that is on the outside of usually plywood, the moisture causes it to separate, and it makes the trailer not unsellable and untradeable. And my beautiful trailer became worthless in about 6 months because I didn't know to say to the insurance adjuster, hey, we need to test for moisture on the walls. I had no idea. And of course, you sign off on an insurance settlement and you find out 6 months later there was something else, you're out of luck. Let's see. I just don't want to do too many that seem the same on it. I want to find comments here that sort of sparks some different ideas instead of kind of repeating what old videos were about. Oh, here's one on one of my Quartzsite videos. This is from Sherry Newman. I just purchased a Ram ProMaster camper van and plan to be down there by mid-December. If I buy a season pass, what happens to my parking spot when I drive my van into town for groceries? Well, I just park whatever spot I can find after I return. Yeah, that's often misunderstood for people that haven't been there. If you're parking in the desert, it's really so vast that it's hundreds and hundreds of acres. And if you pick a spot and you're camping there and you leave, the odds of someone picking that exact spot to camp in while you're gone is close to zero. It's close to zero. There are exceptions, like in in particular, I think it's La Posa West, which abuts the town of Quartzsite, and it's a short walk to where the big tent is, and it's very convenient just to walk into town from there, right up against that border. That could happen for sure. Those are the only premium spots or spots that people consider premium that I'm aware of. But everywhere else is not like that at all. And this might surprise you, but I recommend leaving some stuff out, like a rug, camp chairs. Don't leave a generator out there, right? Don't be silly. Don't leave your e-bike out there. But I routinely, for years, have seen people driving into town and leaving their camp set up with, things like camp chairs and that level of equipment. And I'm sure somewhere, sometime, people got a camp chair stolen that way. Personally, I've never heard it. It's rare. It's rare. I think, again, part of the LTVAs that are much closer to town, where there's more population and more foot traffic, maybe that's a risk. Anyway. But if you want to be safe, pack up all your stuff. Your space is probably going to be there. And if it's not, there's another one right next to it. Let's see. This is, it's a nice comment, but again, it's not sparking anything new. There's a lot of comments on this, the RV disasters. Desert Deb. Hey Deb. She's just not. First, a friend, and secondly, she's a viewer. I was going to say listener, viewer. If you're not, you're a listener and a viewer. By the way, Deb, I heard from our mutual friend recently, Wandering Gypsy. So we're gonna meet in Quartzsite when I get out there, probably in December. And I don't know whether you're going to be around too, but maybe we could all meet up for lunch or something. She said, I've had dental work done at the dental school at Loma Linda years ago. I had a root canal done for around $300. That was back in 2012. I was a little scared to have students work on me, though. Right now, I need more dental work done. I'm looking for Los Algodones. Great video. So, Loma Linda Dental School, where is that? Let's go to ChatGTP. Where is Loma Linda Dental School? And can you tell me about their student clinic and what the prices are? See what they do. Loma Linda, California. The school offers student clinics, general dentistry. Let's see. Precise treatment fee tables for student clinic service are not clearly published online. Let's see if there's any guesses. Nope, they don't have any information on that. You'd have to call them. Pardon me. So it's in Loma Linda, California. It's the place you ought to be. So I suggest you load up the truck and head to Beverly Hills, that is. Swimming pools, movie stars. Aliens, burritos, and the Roswell mystery. That's with my friend Denny, Deb and Denny. And again, I'm going to mention him again. DK Travels is his YouTube, and I'm trying to help him out, getting his YouTube channel off the ground. So if you have the heart to subscribe to him, it's DK Travels. Just I'm sorry, it's DDK Travels. Let me make sure. It's not DK Travels, it's DDK Travels. Let's make sure, Robert. And I'm going to type into a general search bar in YouTube, DDK space travels. And it comes right up. And we have them at 112 subscribers. When we started last week, it was 60, so we're almost double. Let's see. He's got some latest videos. He's got a few shorts here. He's got free camping at the Corps of Engineers. He did a video when we went to Roswell on a day trip. And he's got a really important video if you are in a Class A, like a RV bus, what to do when you blow a front tire. And that's really good advice that he gives, because so many people are injured and even killed when they have blowouts driving down the highway in a Class A and they don't have the experience or training of driving a big rig. Denny does. Denny was a truck driver. He's an expert. So, and the way to respond, you'll find, to it is the sort of the opposite of your instinct. Your instinct is, my front tire blows, oh my God, hit the brakes, and that can kill you. Watch this video. Okay, let's go back to David Pearson says, yesterday I checked out the Roswell UFO Museum. I intended to visit Carlsbad Canyons. That's what Denny and Deb wanted to do, but we couldn't because they're shut down for the government shutdown. For now, I'm exploring the town of Carlsbad before heading into Texas. I'm making my way home to the southeast for the holidays, then hitting the road again in January. Yeah, I've run into a lot of people in this area that were coming here because they wanted to go to Carlsbad Caverns and couldn't do it. Kind of a bummer. So Marshall says, in response to a video, Quartzsite isn't what you've heard. 5 minutes, I'm tired of. He says, dude, you were fantastically interesting until the government heard you say you were willing to take a rate hike. Guess what's coming soon? You just ratified an increase. Crazy. I know so many dwellers out there barely making it, like Blue Van Dan and company, Crazy Jim and Cooking Marie. $180 is really tough for a lot already. Be cool. Okay. So I took exception to that, and I said, I'm not really interested or concerned with how cool that you think I am. There are free alternatives all around Quartzsite and Ehrenberg that people can take advantage of all winter long. And he responded and said, I guess you missed my point. Good luck to you. I didn't miss your point. Your point was I was sort of a jerk for accepting the rate hike. Well, let's talk about this rate hike, which seems so dramatic and unfair. Right now, and they haven't done the rate hike, right now it's $180 for a season pass in the long-term visitor area, meaning you don't have to move from September 15th if you want to get that early and boil for a month, which most people, but theoretically you can go from September 15th through April 15th. That's how many months? That's October, November, December, January, February, March, April. That's 7 months. And you get trash, you get water, and you get a dump station. And you don't have to move. You can stay there in your spot for the whole time. Set up any kind of camp you want, as elaborate as you want, for $180. I'm sorry, $180 to boondock where you don't have to move? Let's divide that out. And let's not divide it by 7, because how many people are going to stay 7 months, right? So let's say you're more reasonable and let's say you're going to do November, December, January, February, and March. Let's say 5 months. So let's take 180 divided by 5. So you're $36 a month to live there. And you're saying these people you're listing are barely making it, struggling because it's so expensive? That's ridiculous. $36 a month? Are you kidding? All right. So let's do the same thing. They're proposing to raise it to $600. So if you take 600 and divide it by 5, it's $120 a month. Okay, I get that. There's a big difference between 36 and 120. In fact, it's a difference of $84 a month. If you're like living on a disability check that's $700 a month, $84 is no joke. That's more than 10% of your income. I get it. However, there are BLM areas around Quartzsite, and then 25 miles away in Ehrenberg, there's another one. So if you want to follow the letter of the rules and the law that you have to move 25 miles every 14 days to camp for free, that's $0 a month, you can bounce back and forth between Ehrenberg and Quartzsite on BLM land. Yeah, you have to move every 14 days. I get it. It's a pain in the neck. Some people just move less than 25 miles, and I don't think it's really enforced, but I don't advocate breaking the rules. But I'm just, I'm saying what I think many, many people do. But my point is that, the rest of my point is it's been years. It's been over a decade since they've raised rates. And you can tell, and I've been going there, this is my 4th year. And in my first 3 years, I could tell they were struggling with budget to keep things going, to maintain things. They tried doing a new dump station, and they built everything, but the well failed to provide enough water to do it. So they couldn't open it because they didn't have the budget to keep going on the well, because they weren't able to keep up with inflation. And whose fault is that? I don't know. Politicians, administrators, I have no idea. But had they been raising rates on a regular basis, like probably most other things you're used to, then it probably wouldn't have been necessary to go all the way to 600, because they would have been getting but the increases would have been normal and gradual, and no one would be freaking out about it. So I am for them having enough money to maintain this beautiful area so we have it indefinitely. And the sad fact is that if you don't raise rates, where are they going to get the money? From taxpayers? One way or another, people are going to pay for it. And probably, I think the people that are using it should pay for it. That's why we have permits. So anyway, enough of my rant. My friend, I don't think I missed your point. I think you might have missed mine. But granted, when I made my statement in the video, I didn't explain it in detail. I did now. All right, let's get back. That got me talking, huh? Be cool. Okay. Can you tell that bothered me a little bit? Well, this is interesting. Renee Slater, when she was in Imperial Dam, LTVA, that's down in Yuma, and she had a wisdom tooth, and she didn't have her passport. So, the technical rule is you need to have a passport. In practice, people use a driver's license, but some people don't want to take that risk. So she said she went to, since they didn't have a passport, I found a dentist in Yuma. Love, love, love him. In a small office, I would take him with me. I have to check in to the other alternative. So she was pretty happy with a local dentist in Yuma. So this was kind of an amusing post. I had a short from a couple years ago, perfect RV for a single guy. And it was about I'm a single guy. I love my little Winnebago Micro Mini, so I did a short on it. And Mad Beast King says, I need the best RV for myself. I'm single. I have no kids. I'm not married. I need the best one. So I said, by all means, buy the best one you can afford. And hey, it might be a Winnebago Micro Mini, but the best, if you're unlimited funds, up in Santa Barbara, there is a luxury travel trailer place. Okay, we're going to do ChatGTP again. What is the name of the luxury RV manufacturer? They manufacture luxury travel trailers in Santa Barbara, California. And are they still in business? Let's make sure. It's searching. Living vehicle based in Santa Barbara. Founded in 2017 by architects and designers with a focus on luxury and off-grid capabilities. We're talking a few $100,000 for a trailer. There's I think probably the cheapest one I saw was maybe 300,000. And they're not just built for off-grid living. They have so much solar and battery capacity that they say even if you go to an RV park, there's no reason to plug in. You don't need to. You can. We give you that option, but you don't need to. And the construction is aluminum, and when you look at drawers and cabinets and stuff, it's all what they call refer to as aircraft grade. It's like how they build aircraft. It's just check it out. It's living vehicle in Santa Barbara. You'll find their website. So if you're that single guy and you're mega rich, go buy one of those. But buy a big truck because they're heavy. No half ton's going to be pulling one of those trailers. You want a 1-ton beast to tow those things. But if I were rich, I'd have one of those for sure. Let's see. Just to give you an idea, developers said I had an implant done in Los Algodones 2 years ago. It was $1,200. In Oregon, they wanted $6,500. It is kind of a big deal, he said, because you have to go back to finish up the implant job. Thank God for Quartzsites, LTVAs. I'm 66 now, and I'll be looking into some insurance soon. Thanks, Rob. Let's see. How much time? Oh, we're at 24 minutes already. Let's see. Susan Jack says, this has nothing to do with your today's video. I don't care if it has nothing to do with the video. If you have something to say it. Get it out there. I want to hear it. So it doesn't have to. You can comment anything you want on any video. I probably won't appreciate terrible things, but nice things, what you're sharing, I want to hear it. Doesn't have to be related to the video. So totally fine. She says it's snowing in Red River, and she mentions that because she knows I spend my summers in Eagle Nest, and it's a short hop up to Red River on the Enchanted Circle, less than an hour. I wanted to send you the post, but I can't. But it does look beautiful. Would you ever stay up in Eagle Nest for the first snow? Now, when I read that, I said, no, I never would. But you know what? I shouldn't answer with that kind of certainty. If I had a good enough reason other than I'm going to sit around waiting for the first snow, yeah, I'd stay. I've been in snowy, below freezing weather in my RV before. I know how to do that. So maybe. I doubt it. How about I say that? I doubt it. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. This is sort of a rant about the U.S. dental insurance system. So let's see. I can't remember what he said, but it's Bruce Kelly. So, he says, the saga continues. The dental system in the U.S. is dysfunctional, and I'm being generous. What the U.S. dental system is good at is extraction. That is extracting money from people who need work done. I've looked into moving to Colombia, and they have very good dental care at very affordable prices, perhaps even better care and prices than Mexico. That could be done here in the States, but greed is the primary mover. Like you, I plan to go to Molar City, which is Los Algodones, when I get down there, hopefully in December. Maybe get a 2-for-1 deal if we went together. And David C. responds, says, you've hit the nail on the head. Yeah, there's so, just with not just dental care, but healthcare, there's just so much evidence that there are better ways of doing it out there and elsewhere in the world. And that's something in this country. I just think we're fumbling. We're not doing well. Even with my, I've got rock solid medical care, right? Because I'm over 65. I not only have Medicare, but I have the Cadillac supplement, the Plan G, and I have a very robust Plan D for medications, right? So the most I'm ever going to pay out of my pocket for anything this coming year is like, I think the deductible that I pay for Part B is it was 255 this year. I think it's going to almost 300 next year, but $300 out of pocket, that's all I'm ever going to pay. Even if I get $1 million worth of, procedures and stuff. But that costs me, let's add it up. So we're going to, let's see. I need to pull up my note because I just redid all this. It's my Social Security, 185 comes out of my Social Security paycheck. That's the base Medicare. So let's ask ChatGTP. I don't remember the exact number. How much is Medicare base rate going up in 2026? So it's going from 185 to, it's going to come up pretty quick here, 206. So 206.50, 11.6% increase. Way more. Inflation's at 3%, but the medical cost for Medicare has gone up more than 3 times, almost 4 times the rate of inflation. So it's 206.50. All right, 206.50, and I pay, I think, $158 a month for my Plan G, and I pay $88 a month for my Plan D. So I pay $452.50 per month, or $5,430 a month for the peace of mind that I get, knowing that if something really bad happens, I'm totally covered and it's not going to wipe me out. Because if you don't get supplemental insurance or get an Advantage plan, if you just use base Medicare, which I thought my whole life was, I thought 2 things that were wrong. One is I thought Medicare was free when you turn 65. It's not. It's the base Medicare is now, this next year, going to be over $200 a month. And I also thought it covered everything. Well, it doesn't. It covers most everything in Part A, which is if you're in the hospital, but only for like X number of days. And then in Part B, there's what they call co-insurance. And you're like, what the hell is co-insurance? Well, it means you pay 20% of anything that's done. Well, that doesn't sound too bad unless you get a hip replacement like me. Do you know what it's like, it's thousands of dollars for a procedure like that. And if you, God forbid, if you get cancer, you can be $100,000, $200,000 and you got to pay 20% of that. Even though, I have Medicare in the greatest country in the world, I could go bankrupt because I have cancer. That could happen. So I protect myself from that by buying the supplement, and I'm ranting again, aren't I? I don't even know what the comment was that got me started on it. But if I were more of a gambling man, I wouldn't pay I'd get an Advantage plan for like nothing, and I would pay, instead of $5,400, I would pay the $206.50. I would pay $2,478, so half. Basically, let's say I'm paying $5,000 a year now. I could pay half that. I could save $2,500 a year and take the risk that the Advantage plan and everything would cover any disaster. But I'm not going to get into the details, but there's no guarantee with an Advantage plan. There are deductibles. There are all sorts of things depending on which Advantage plan you have. And the thing that I really don't like is with a supplement plan, Medicare is still making the calls and steering the ship. When you go to an Advantage plan, this is what Medicare does. It says, here, we're going to shove this lump of money, say about $15,000 a year for you to insure Rob. And after we shove you that money, we're done. We're not involved. You take care of him. Here are your basic rules. Try to follow those rules for claims, and see you down the road on the next one. So the ability to say yes or no to claims and procedures and requirements and what doctor you go to is dictated by the insurance company that has the Advantage plan that you have. And the other thing is a Nomad. I wanted to be able to go to any doctor I wanted anywhere. In an Advantage plan, that's very difficult to find something like that. So anyway, I think that's enough for today, don't you? Let's check in on Dottie. Dottie, are you all right? Are you awake? No. George, where are you? George is over in the corner. You can't possibly see George. Unless, you know what? Paid all this money for a camera that does this. Hey, George. Hey, kitty, kitty, kitty. Hi, Georgie. What is that, George? Kitty. And here's Dottie. Hey, Dottie, dog. Say hi to people. Be nice. You're the real star of the show. You got to make a showing, don't you? That's a good girl. There you go. There's your Dottie and George fix. And thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. You like kind of this format. I like reading the comments, and I like ones will set me off, and I'll go on to things that I'm kind of passionate about, and I enjoy doing that. Anything else going on? Not really. It's only 8:08 a.m. 8:08 in the morning, and I got a whole day ahead of me, and I've finished my, other than uploading this and doing a thumbnail and a title, I'm done with my YouTube duties for the day, and I got the rest of the day to do whatever I want. I have no idea what that is. I'll find out. See you tomorrow.